some of these people, if you get the promotion, if you meet the person of your dreams and you're getting married, you're buying your first house, you've got the pay rise, let's say you're really into luxury, you've got a lovely collection going up there, you've bought your first bag. There are some people that are never going to be happy for you. Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Please excuse my mess. I've just done one video, but I had a comment from one of you just now as I was sat on the sofa. I was like, oh my God, I need to talk about this topic. This topic is to do with jealousy, how to handle envious people, how to deal with luxury judgment, but actually it's bigger than that. We're going to be talking about how to deal with judgment and envy and bitterness across the board. Maybe you've got a promotion, you've got a pay rise, you're getting married, you are doing something and achieving something in your life that is winding up people around you, and instead of being happy for you, they're hating on you for it. So I'm going to talk about like the psychology behind what makes someone this kind of person. I'm going to talk about 4 things that I do on how to deal with them. And what else? And I'm going to talk about how to deal with a jealous boss, because that can be a difficult one, very difficult one. So here's the comment. It's one of you and it says, the car jealousy thing is real. I bought a new Model Y last year and the amount of people that have distanced themselves from me at work was astonishing. When I got into luxury fashion and fitness as well, I lost so many friends and I thought these luxuries would make my friends like me more. But no, I'm all alone now. In my Tesla with a Fendi jacket, Celine bag and Cartier bracelets. This is the sad thing about it. So going back years and years, when I was a lot younger, I was out of shape, I was in a lot of debt, and I was very, very unhappy. Then I happened to meet David, and my life changed. I joined the gym, I got obsessed with fitness, to the point where I ended up going the other way and couldn't eat anything, but that's a whole other video. But before that happened, I got really into shape. I could see my abs. I was feeling great. I had so much energy. And then I started climbing the career ladder. And as I climbed, I gradually got myself out of debt by saving, paying it off until I got to the end where I landed a big job. As I've told you a million times before, I got a job as a director. And some of you have said, what sector do I work in? I work in advertising and marketing. And I got a job in that sector as a director. And that was the point where I could really start saving and paying things off. Do you know, I lost so many people in my life when I started achieving, I started shaping up. I got the car, I got the bags, I got the man of my dreams. I lost many people. But you know, I look back and it was the best thing that ever happened. I detoxed my life. And like you who left me the comment, I felt very alone for quite a long time. I had David in my life, but I didn't have any friends and I felt very alone. And on a weekend, David and I used to go out to dinner, but David didn't really want to go clubbing and all of that kind of thing because he was like over that by that point. But I still wanted to do that because I was like 22, 23. And I didn't do that for a while. Everyone's into their thing. I like a party. And that's what I was like then. But then as I climbed up the ladder and I met new people, mainly at work, that is when I built up my friend group again. And I have got people in my life now. And I know I could tell them my deepest, darkest secret and they would not tell a soul. And I know all of them are like it. And they all happen to be people I've met through work at different companies. And it's weird because I'm friends with them and we all go out together collectively now, even though they've all worked at different places, not together, they all know each other as well now. It's very strange. If you're in a situation right now where you feel alone or you feel like you've got this big group of friends, but everyone's stabbing you in the back, honestly, take it from me, get rid. I know that's a harsh thing to do, but if there are people being nasty to you and it's giving you stress, or they're just not supportive, or they're, as I say, they're not there for you. I would rather be on my own than be in that situation. So that's what I would say. Okay, so jealous people, let's talk about the psychology. Then I'm going to tell you my 4 tips on how to deal with them. So the first thing is, you get people that are jealous and envious, and they can't help it. It's who they are. Some people realize they're jealous and envious, and other people don't. And I think there's a really important thing to say here. Not all jealous, envious people are bad people. I think there is an assumption that if you're jealous, envious, etc., that you're somehow a bad person. Yeah, they might be a little bit negative, but it doesn't mean that they're actually a bad person. So I would say bear that in mind. And I also would say, with these people, if they send you negativity, send back love. Don't keep them in your life. You know, if they're negative and they're horrible to you, get rid. But mentally and in real life, send them love. It will make you feel better, and it will make them feel probably like a bit rubbish, but do it. The other thing is inadequacy. A lot of people do it because they actually feel inadequate. They may or may not know that, but I think for the most part, they probably do. They look at you and they're like, why don't I have that? Why can't I get that? Why can't I get that promotion or pay rise? A lot of it comes down to that. Nothing you can do about it. And then the final thing is, some people are just haters and they enjoy hate. Some people are just like that, and there's nothing you can do about people like that. Okay, so what can you do? You might get hate from family, friends, work colleagues, your boss. And I think you have to deal with all of them differently. If you are really into your luxury and you're surrounded by people in your life who say to you, what do you need that for? What are you spending your money on that for? Why do you need another bag? Everyone has their vice. Everyone on this earth has their thing that they spend money on. Could be good food, eating out, trips away, golf, crafting. Some people spend a fortune on that. You know, there are so many different things that everyone spends their money on. And this hypocritical person or people might look at you and question how you're spending your money. That's your business. That's not their business. So the first thing I always do is I clap back, and you do not have to be horrible about how you do it. But I think point out to that person that you're aware of what they're doing and it's not cool. A lot of the time they will be shocked that you have had the courage, shall we say, to call them out on it. It might not stop them, but at least they know that you know and you're seeing it. The next thing you can do, as I've mentioned, is if you can, cut people out of your life. Now this can actually be a very, very difficult one to do, particularly if you're having to cut out family members, if you're having to cut out close friends. But if you really feel like you've got to that point where you don't need that person in your life, sometimes it's worth doing. And it's almost, I feel like when you cut people out, it feels like you're mourning the loss of a person. Not in a callous way, but you get to a point where you get over that and you come through the other side. And whilst you might miss that person and think about them over the years, you'll get to a point where you feel better without them, without that negativity. The next point is to know that it's not you, it's them. This is, to a degree, this is an overused phrase online, but it's so true. People that hate can't help it. It's who they are. Again, it doesn't mean they're a bad person. Even if they're really, really negative, still doesn't mean they're a bad person. It's just who they are. Some people realise they're doing it, other people really don't. And it's all them, it's not you. And then the final massive thing I would say is do not hide who you are. Do not stop enjoying your things. If you're going to go and see a family member and you're going to turn up in your car, don't park down the street so they can't see it, because you know it's going to upset them. If you need to park outside the house, park outside the house. If they've got a problem with the fact that you have worked really hard and you've bought this car, their problem. If you're going to go over and see someone and you want to enjoy your designer bag, let's say you don't take them to work because of people at work, but on a weekend you want to use it, and on weekends you see family. When are you going to use this stuff if you can't use it at work or on the weekends? Again, if your designer bag is going to upset someone, it's not your problem. Call them out on it. Point out to them the stuff that they're spending their money on, because they will be. Could be home interiors, could be coffees out, could be so many things. but they'll be spending their money on something. Okay, so the final thing is, what can you do if it's your boss? I always think your boss can be one of the hardest people to deal with when it comes to this kind of thing, because who are you going to tell? You can't really tell your boss's boss, because that's just going to make everything so much worse, and your boss will probably deny it and just get you fired or something. Do you know what I would do? Quit. We are in our work, I think I read somewhere, we're at work over a third of our life. That's massive. That's nearly half of our life we spend in the office or doing whatever it is that you do. If somebody is bullying you, if somebody is making you feel inadequate, if someone's holding you back in the office and stopping you getting promotions, but other people are rising up around you, please quit. I've done this myself. I have quit places before because of this kind of thing. And even if you've only been somewhere a couple of weeks, a couple of months, if you're seeing the writing on the wall, if you're seeing what the place is really like and it's negative, look for another job. It is never worth sticking around for. And when it's a boss, you can't really do anything about it. I want to say that. It's very, very difficult to address that. And if you have any stories about this, things that have happened to you and how you've dealt with it, if you've got just any tips at all on how you deal with people like this, please leave it in the comments below. I would love to hear, and I know other people would as well. I love reading your stories, particularly the juicy ones. I love reading what it is that you've got to say, so leave them below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.